We are going to get into the terms vulnerability and accountability. Now, vulnerability is noted as or seen as a sense of being comfortable to say what you want to say in your relationship without fear that things are going to go in the wrong direction. Accountability is being able to come back to a certain situation that took place and saying how you added to it versus pointing the finger and giving your partner blame. Both of these components help couples build a healthy relationship because the opposite doesn't, right? If I'm not accountable for my actions, we're not going to get anywhere. And if I'm not vulnerable, if I'm always worried about saying this or saying that, then we're going to have a very quiet relationship. You're not going to know how I really feel inside because I'm not willing to say that because of X, Y, or Z. So in this conversation, we're going to get into those very topics, vulnerability and accountability, because I find that to have a healthy relationship, to have what's considered a lasting, a loving, healthy relationship, we need to be accountable, practice accountability, and then we need to be vulnerable with each other. So let's first go into vulnerability. And hopefully you're watching this together. Now, vulnerability would be that I'm sitting at a store, right? Or I'm standing in a store with my wife. And we're about to buy something. Let's say a lawnmower, right? And I'm nervous inside about buying the lawnmower because the bank account doesn't look too good. And that's my thoughts. But then I think, I'm not going to tell her that. Because if I tell her that, last time I told her that, we started arguing. And then she got really upset, and it took 2 weeks for us to get back to normal. So I'm definitely not doing that. That in essence, right, if we pull away from that example, that case study, you're able to see that Juan in that example was not vulnerable. Juan in that example was worried that if he would say what he wanted to say, it would lead to conflict. And Juan in that example was using the past to relate to the present, saying that because in the past it wasn't a good interaction, the present one that hasn't even happened is going to be a bad interaction too. So we really want to stay away from that. And this is why it's so important for two people, a couple, to be able to be in this video and have this conversation together so that you get to know how your partner's feeling. And hopefully, again, you're both here. So instead, what we want to do is we want to push those worries, those anxieties, the apprehension away. And we want to be able to say, I desire to be in a relationship that I can be myself. I desire to be in a relationship that I can share my thoughts and feelings and know that it's a healthy space. And the same question you can provide to your partner. You say, partner, do you want to be? Do you need to be in a relationship where you can share your thoughts and feelings? And the answer is going to be yes. Partner, do you need to be in a relationship that you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells? The answer is going to be yes. And then keep building from there. So if we go back to that example, right? I'm at the store, I'm buying a lawnmower, and I feel that nervousness, and I still have that past history. I want to build up from it. I want to build the strength, the self-confidence. The confidence connected to I want a healthy marriage. I want a healthy relationship. That's the driving force behind it. And then I share my thoughts and feelings. I say, listen, honey, I want to tell you something. And to be honest with you, I do feel vulnerable and I feel a little bit nervous. Because sometimes when we have tough conversations, it seems like we just run in a circle or we bump heads. But I want to have this conversation with you because I think that you and I can navigate it. I think that we love each other much more than the issue that we're dealing with. And then from there, getting into the issue. Being able to say, okay, I really want to get this lawnmower, but here's something that's going on in the bank account. We only got $2, right? We only got $2 in the account, and the lawnmower's $100. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. That was some humor there. Hopefully you liked it. And then from there, you're looking at you and your partner being able to have a positive experience. So that the next time one of these situations takes place, instead of going back to the negative experience, you have a positive one. And equally important, you and your partner have had a conversation about the importance of being vulnerable with each other. If it's helpful in your relationship, a strategy that I like to encourage couples to look at is sharing what you're thinking and what you want to do before you do it and why you feel the way that you feel. So if that example, again, if it was that I was vulnerable, it would be, honey, I want to share something with you. I feel really vulnerable right now. I feel anxious. I feel nervous. There's something I want to tell you. And the reason I'm feeling this way is because, at least in my mind, if I share what I want to share, I think that we're going to bump heads. I don't think it's going to go in the right direction. Do you think that if I share what I want to share, we're able to take a deep breath. We're able to respect each other. We're able to treat each other in the way that you want to be treated and I want to be treated. And then we move forward from there. So that is vulnerability. And that is how you can play vulnerability out in your relationship. And again, that's going to lead to creating a foundation to a very strong and healthy relationship. And a strong you, because you're going to feel that you can be your authentic self. And that is a beautiful feeling.